Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to week 4. Welcome to Nashville Super Speedway, and welcome to the Knapp Daddy Racing League. Apologies for all of the delays. We were having some technical difficulties on this end, but we still got you out here and ready to take in all of the racing action before the qualifying starts, as these guys are just finishing up their practice times right now. Before we get everything started, just wanted to shout out our sponsor for the league and for the race, which shameless self-plug is us, Knapp Daddy Racing. But if you want to sponsor one of these races and have yourself a pretty fantastic ad read out here, be sure to reach out to us and we will try to make that happen for you. But for those that don't know, Knapp Daddy Racing started as an iRacing design shop just over a year ago. We've expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for any and all things iRacing. So be sure to check out our website at knappdaddyracing.com for all of your iRacing template design, logo needs, custom or template. And even if you're not into iRacing, you can pick up a t-shirt, you can pick up a hat, you can pick up some stickers, help support the boys over here. We would appreciate it very much. And make sure you follow us on all the social media stuff. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook, TikTok live as often as we can, but we've been a little busy on this end, but we appreciate it either way. Thank y'all very much for tuning in tonight. Thank you for tuning in week after week on Monday nights to check us out over here. Be sure you like the stream, it helps out so much, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss any of the Knapp Daddy Racing League action that we have coming your way. And as always, make sure that you are loud in the comments cheering on your drivers. We already got some people out here. Genevieve Estelle saying yay, here to support Everett. Got New Age Bandit, which is our very own Dagan Barnes, saying just me spinning out on exit of 2 over and over again. We believe that you're gonna get that ship righted and be ready to go for the race. And then John Larson saying, did y'all have to plow the track for tonight's race? I think in real life, yes. And if also we were referring to what my house looks like in real life, you would have to plow it out if you wanted to do anything. I made it up to work this morning by fishtailing my way all the way there. But once again, thank you all for joining us here on this fine Monday evening. As always, my name is Hunter Foley, and up here with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, and bringing back from last season for his first time this season, the team's own namesake, Mr. Baker Knapp. Baker, why don't you reintroduce yourself to the people, let them know what's going on.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah, the one, the only, the Knapp of the Knapp Daddy. But no, it's been good. I had a little bit of time away, unfortunately, just with some schedule changes and schedule things that were going on. But I'm excited to be back, especially here at Nashville Super Speedway. I know this is a very racy track. It's going to be a fun race tonight, and these guys are going to put on a great show. I mean, as we've seen from good practice times and great qualifying so far, I'm thrilled to be back and thrilled to see what will probably be an incredible race tonight.
Definitely think we are in for a good show tonight. The guys have been putting on a great show the past couple of weeks. As we're kind of getting wrapped up with qualifying here, John, you wanted to give us your thoughts?
Absolutely not. I'm just joking. I'm happy to be here. It's going to be a good race. This is one of my favorite tracks. I mean, I say that a lot, but I also made the schedule, so I put a lot of my favorite tracks up here on the schedule. But coming into week 4 of this series out here at Nashville Super Speedway, going to be a 1.3 mile track. Has a weird behavior. Kind of reminds me of like a Iowa, almost more of a I'm not even sure, kind of a Kentucky kind of plays into this a little bit of mix of a bunch of
everything.
Tracks. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. I think you're going to see lane 1 being the primary running line for these guys in turns 1 and 2, right there on the bottom, and then 3 and 4. I mean, I've seen guys rip the high side. I think the middle is where most people start to float as this race continues, but definitely going to be a good one. We got some good stuff coming for you, especially now, especially later this season. Looking at the qualifying times right now, Mitchell Wilson sitting on the pole right now. Everett Larson right behind him by only 5/100ths of a second. Frank Marchese and newcomer Brady Zoller in 4th place with Ty Robertson, your points leader, in 5th. So getting ready to grit up here soon as you see Gary Breland bring it to a stop there. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. Cannot wait. Going to have a stage break on lap 70. Pits will close at lap 68. Try to make up some strategy here as we go on through this race, but it's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a fun time here tonight. Got a good field here with us tonight. I know we're missing some of our well-known names and faces here tonight. I think Greg McConey was not able to make it here with us tonight. And I know Trash Panda Autosport is going to be missing their guy over there, but I still do definitely expect to have a really good night of racing here in Nashville. Nashville's a super, super fun track. One of the ones that when I kind of started my iRacing journey kind of broke my brain a little bit, if we're going to be honest, but I think I finally got the hang of it a little bit, and it's got to be one of my favorite tracks to race at. I think this track is so much fun.
Yeah, I think we're having some a little bit of buffering issues I'm trying to work out here in the background, but we will get that straight for you. If you have any issues with the stream tonight, volume-wise, audio or video-wise, just let us know in the comments. And other than that, be sure to throw out your favorite driver in the comments. Appreciate everybody coming and hanging out with us on this Thursday night. Not really sure what's going on in the sports world. We usually try to give a little update on that, but I do know UNC is playing tonight, which is my team in basketball. Getting ready for that Duke matchup this week.
Yeah, actually, I haven't checked the basketball scores here tonight. As you see, our drivers pulling out onto the track for their final warm-up and practice 5 minutes before we get the race started. We will get your full lineup and full grid once we get everything lined up here on the track, but got some new faces up toward the front of the track. Got Mitchell Wilson going to be taking the pole here tonight at Nashville Super Speedway for what I believe is his first pole of the year. And then got just a really big mix up there at the front so far. I got Everett Larson is going to be starting in second place tonight, who we've seen have such a great start to the season so far. New to the Knapp Daddy Racing League scene, but definitely not new to the racing scene. Frank the Tank Marchese going to be starting in third place. I think he's definitely going to be one that you need to watch out for as this race goes on. We've seen Frank at Nashville before and know how successful he can be. Got a newcomer to the league as well, going to be starting in fourth place, and that is Brady Zoller in that number 1 car. Out there getting warmed up as well. Expect to see big things out of him. And then again, you got some familiar faces going a little bit further back. Got Ty Robertson, Brandon Lopez, Zach Baker, all starting 5th, 6th, and 7th tonight. All those guys you can definitely expect to see near the front as the race goes on, but we will get over to our picks for the race here in just a second. I know we try to make all of our picks beforehand so that we're not trying to pick based off of qualifying or anything like that. Try to keep it as above board as possible. We'll get over to that before we get the race started.
Yeah, in the meantime, let's talk about some event info that we have here for you tonight. Again, as I mentioned earlier, 150 lap stage at lap 70. And these guys will not be able to pit 2 laps before that stage closes. The top 10 in points will get stage points for tonight's run, and those points will be scored as they cross the line. We will throw the flag once the 10th place driver crosses the line. However, their scoring position will count when they cross the line. It just gives everybody a chance to race back to get those points if they can. Also want to bring up some keys to the race here that we have tonight. Going to be big on fuel strategy. We talked to some drivers prior to this and told us about 40 to 50 laps is what we're looking at here. So going to see how far these guys can stretch it out. If they are able to stretch it out to 50 laps, maybe 45 laps. But that's definitely going to be a big strategy. As you can see here in this practice going on, you got to be easy on exit. Make sure you keep your foot light on that throttle like you're pushing on eggshells there. And the biggest thing is strategic passing. Make sure you're making the passes at the right time. Don't want to go too early and burn those tires up too soon, and you don't want to go too late where you don't have a chance to catch up, or maybe in a spot where you can't get around them on the low side, as we saw last week at Darlington.
Yeah, 100%. I think you kind of lined it up. I think this is definitely going to be a race where you have to think about what your fuel strategy is going to be, what your tire strategy is going to be. I think these guys have plenty of tires to get to this race with clean tires at the end. I mean, they're going to be able to change their tires 4 times as the race goes on, but At the same time, you have to plan out to when you're going to be able to come down and get those tires. You have to be able to plan down when you're going to be able to get extra fuel and things like that. I think there's a lot of things that go into it. I think you're going to be seeing these guys trying to plan that out from very early on in the race. We've had a ton of clean racing here these past couple of weeks. I think we've had like 4 cautions over the past 2 races, which, to be honest, we love. I think it really allows these drivers to show off their strategy, show off their plans for the race, more so than if we just have a caution fest. So been really, really excited to see that, and I think you're going to be able to see a really good night of strategy out of our guys here tonight as we are wrapping up our practice as we speak.
I'm still trying to fix this buffering issue that's going on here. It seems like a little bit of lag, but I think we're working our way through it, and I think I've found the problem with it, so hopefully got that sorted out. Recently been trying to push this computer as hard as it can possibly go, and I'm starting to find some of the limits in it. But with that said, we do have people starting to grid up here. As soon as they start gridding up, we will get to this lineup, but let me show you right now what our current grid is going to look like in order, and Hunter will do a quick walkthrough for us.
Yeah, happy to do that for you. So starting on the pole position tonight here at Nashville Super Speedway, I believe for the first time this season, you're going to have the number 46 of Mitchell Wilson taking the pole position for Team Midwest E Motorsports. Starting in second place, you're going to have Everett Larson, who was our Week 1 winner in that 01 car. Frank Marchese in that number 24 Trash Panda Autosport car, going to be starting in third place here tonight. Got a newcomer to the league here, starting in fourth position tonight in the number 1 car of Brady Zoller. Always fast and always dangerous number 88 car of Ty Robertson, going to be starting in fifth place tonight. And his teammate Brandon Lopez in the 5, going to be starting in sixth place. Trash Panda Autosport making another appearance in seventh place with the number 12 car of Zachary Baker. And then Team Quack Pack making its first appearance. Actually, that's not Team Quack Pack. I apologize. That's going to be Trash Panda Autosport again in the number 74 of Brian Gibbons starting 8th. Thomas McLaughlin in the number 38 car starting in 9th place. Quack Pack making its appearance in 10th place with the number 7 of Scott Matthews. Dagan Barnes in the number 14 car is going to be starting in 11th place here tonight. And then Ronald Breland going to be starting in 12th place in that number 99 car. And then Jamie Horn starting 13th and Brandon Trush starting 14th as the pace car heads off the track, makes that hard left-hand turn, and we are green flag racing here at Nashville.
We are green flag racing here at Nashville. That's a lot of S's and H's to put in that, but great start there for Mitchell Wilson getting out to the front. Everett Larson going to be right behind him on that high side. And Frank going to kind of get into his line there, drifting up just a little bit, moves him off. No harm, no foul, though. These guys are going to keep moving. Everett Larson securing that second place. That's Brandon Lopez.
Oh.
Off
Getting
into the
loose on
grass.
inside.
Single car, though. Kept it. He saved it, though. Kept it off the racing surface, which was really nice. That's a very unfortunate turn of events if we want to talk about our picks for the race.
Yeah,
Brandon Lopez was my pick for this race. And there he went. I'm not giving up on him, though. I think Brandon Lopez could, gets yellow here soon, stay on the lead lap. You can always come back from anything in this series.
Oh, and he completely avoided any damage there. Really good job by Brandon Lopez, but still, though, like you said, starting from right there is not exactly where you want to be, but at the same time, still a good job by him to avoid pretty much any damage other than just cutting some grass down there.
Yeah, and if that's going to happen, you want it to happen there. It's better to happen right there instead of, I hate to bring it up for our boy Ty here, Ty Robertson sitting in fourth place, making that pass now, but led a lot of laps at Darlington last week and spun there coming off of pit road. Brandon Lopez was catching up quick, able to win that race last week, but At least it happened early. There's a chance to catch up. Even if you go a lap down, there is going to be a caution for the stage, so you can get that lap back if you maintain that first place as a lap down.
Yeah, 100%. He's a little ways back there, but I mean, he still didn't even go. I would say he still didn't even go halfway a lap down, and it's not like Nashville's one of those tracks where you have to like draft to stay in or anything like that. But Mitchell Wilson did get off to a great start up front, and he has about 0.3 of a second of a lead on Everett Larson right now, who's sitting comfortably in second place. Frank Marchese going to be sitting right behind them, about 1.1 seconds behind the race leader. Then you're going to have Ty Robertson about 1.5 seconds back, about 0.4 behind Frank Marchese, but gained a 10th that last lap. Brady Zoller going to be sitting 1.8 seconds back, and Zach Baker 2.1.
Yeah, right now, checking out this little pack back here. It's starting to straighten out now, but Jamie Horn and teammate Brandon Trush moving through that pack pretty quickly. Horn and Trush both up 5 spots. Gary Breland right behind them, up 2 spots in that 99 car. And Dagan Barnes sitting in 11th.
Really nice, clean start, aside from the one little incident. Again, and he saved it for the most part.
Oh, Scott
That was
Matthews
very
hard
good.
into the wall.
And right now, Frank Marchese's got a little challenger here, and in Ty Robertson on the bottom side. Ty's going to be able to squeeze past, slide up, secure that spot. Good slide
What a
by
move.
Ty, able to hold on to it. So he gets by. He's going to move him up into a podium position here on lap 8 of 151.
I saw Scott Matthews back there, closer to the back of the pack, saw him get hard into the wall back there just a lap ago. He's now going to have to try to catch up to Thomas McLaughlin, currently sitting in 12th place. Just got a little bit loose there on entry, which I know we talked about at the beginning of the race is going to be one of the problems that's going to be plaguing these guys all night long, but do have some big movers on the track so far. Jamie Horn already going to be up 5 spots. Brandon Trush going to be up the same amount. Jamie Horn started in 13th, up to 8th place, and Brandon Trush started in 14th and up to 9th.
And Brandon Trush is going to be our cover athlete for the night, if you see that thumbnail out there.
Cover athlete, very nice.
It looks like Gibbons is making a run here on the outside of Zach Baker right now. He might have a run here off this corner if he can hold on to it. This wall in turn 2 kind of jumps out at you just a little bit.
Yeah,
the entry of turn 2 and the exit of turn 3 were what was my Achilles heel for Nashville. It was just like you said, that wall at turn 2 just really tries to jump out at you, and the exit at turn 3 just constantly had me let's go chasing my own tail.
Trying to see if we can hop on board here with Everett Larson, see what he is seeing inside that car. So you see he's going down to 4th gear through this corner here. Not a bad strategy. I wonder if he will keep it in 5th gear as the run goes on. Yeah, you want to get a really wide arc into this turn 1 here.
He's running a really clean line, staying in some clean air, staying a little bit offset, which is really nice because that's what these cars need. They need that little bit of clean air to get them the downforce they need. So he's doing really good at staying just outside of Mitchell's line.
Yeah, and
either below or above. It's been perfect.
I was watching his line just like you're talking about right there, and the way he's crossing him up, he might be a little bit tighter on that high side.
And there's our first caution of the evening.
I think that's going to be Scott Matthews. We had a few event notifications throughout that time period. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened here. Just a little single car spin, but I believe iRacing called that caution.
They did
like he-
indeed.
Could have been coming up right in front of the traffic there. Probably was why iRacing called it.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all.
We have some pit stops. Interesting strategy move right now. This is very interesting.
Yeah, I
So
want
we
to.
had. So we have Everett Larson heading down, along with Ty Robertson.
Gary Breland bringing it down. Brandon Lopez, Thomas McLaughlin, Brady Zoller, and I believe Scott Matthews already on pit road. I think he towed, so he is going to be there for a little bit.
And Brady Zoller, one of those guys that we saw kind of starting near the front of the pack. He started in 4th place, but I think one of the events that you were talking about that might have happened right before that caution came out, but Brady kind of got him into the wall just a little bit, and almost in that same spot where we saw Brandon Lopez get loose, we saw Brady kind of come up there and touch the wall and then get a little bit loose as well. I had him down there vying for the John Deere award down there on the inside. Again, same thing as Brandon Lopez, able to avoid any sort of damage, but it did send him toward the back of the pack.
Yeah, I do want to jump
we were
back
saying-
on board with Everett Larson once we go back green here to see some things that I noticed. I really like what he was doing, but we will get back to that in a second.
He was about to make a pass for the lead right before that yellow came out too.
Oh yeah, he
So
had it
close.
figured out. He had it figured out for
Mhm.
sure. But going back to some of our picks for tonight, Hunter, why don't you give us your pick?
Yeah, my pick for the night was actually going to be Mr. Jamie Horn, currently sitting in the 5th place position. I mean, we know how fast Jamie can be, and Nashville is one of those tracks that he does really, really well at. Nashville's a track where consistency matters, being able to stay consistent throughout the race and with your strategy matters. And I don't know too many drivers that are better at that than Jamie. So I think Jamie's going to be able to work his way from back to front and get the win here tonight.
I do not disagree with you a bit. I think that is a great pick, but my pick tonight is going to be Frank Marchese, currently sitting in 2nd place tonight. I was looking at some of his ratings earlier. He's got a 104 rating right now that he is currently sporting as he comes into this week, running a fast lap 14% of the time, which is actually kind of crazy. 48 quality passes, which are passes inside of the top 10. I got one top 5 of the year, currently in 5th in the standings, but I expect him to go up a lot more. A little bit of trouble last week, but we're always seeing this guy at the front.
We are seeing that pace car make the hard left-hand turn, and we are about to get back to green flag racing here at Nashville Super Speedway. Mitchell Wilson taking off on that restart, getting back in the lead, and then you're going to have Frank Marchese, Brian Gibbons, Zach Baker, Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush, Everett Larson, Dagan Barnes, Ty Robertson, and Brandon Lopez making up your top 10 on that restart.
It was a little messy on that restart, but everyone still kept it clean. We're going green now, which is great. I know I didn't say my pick right then, but I already had said my pick. Brandon Lopez, Mr. John Deere green right there. But I mean, obviously I'm sticking with him. He's back here with the whole field now. Got fresh tires. I'm excited to see what he can do, and hopefully work his way back through the field.
100%. Then we got another cheer in the comments from Kathleen Trush saying, "Have a great race, Brandon, number 23." Thank you, Kathleen, as always, for tuning in, cheering on Brandon Trush in that number 23 car. And then got Lily Hines in here as well saying, "Come on, Everett, you got this." Everett Larson currently sitting in 6th place right now in a battle with that number 74 of Brian Gibbons for the 5th and 6th place position.
John, you want to take us back on board with Everett?
Yeah, let's hop back on board. Because one of the big things I watch when I'm watching, because I watch a lot of drivers drive from this view right here when I'm trying to figure out a track. I always try to watch people that are better than me. Everett Larson's definitely better than me. So this is a good person to watch. But watch his steering wheel and that wheel tape right there at the top, how it does not ever get past that 11 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock position as he's turning. And that's going to save him a lot of tire over the run. You don't want to crank that wheel too much. I mean, that's beautiful. Back on the throttle as the wheel is straightening back up and that wheel tape's going to the top. You can't beat that. That's going to get you a good long run there.
Yeah, 100%. I know we've talked about before, there's other guys that do a really good job of managing tires. I know specifically we mentioned Jamie Horn in that conversation before, Frank Marchese as well. Guys that we've just seen over the course of both last season and this season just save tires so well. But we're kind of seeing it go on out front right now. Frank Marchese trying to challenge Mitchell Wilson for the race lead, but he's still going to be 0.2 of a second back. I know we were talking about it before that caution flag came out. I think Everett Larson, even with a friendly little chirp in the race chat saying "saved by the bell," but that is not to be ignored in any capacity. That Mitchell Wilson started out front, got the pole position for this race, and he has been wall to wall so far.
And that's a new paint scheme there for Mitchell Wilson. Kind of, I'm not sure what that is. I think it's a Miami Vice almost kind of thing, but not really.
That pink on there was crazy.
Nice.
What do you think about the number at the back of the wheel, or towards the back wheel?
I like it. I like it
NASCAR
a lot.
tried it once. They tried it at an all-star race, and then they went forward instead of backward.
And I'm not gonna lie, I know this is an unpopular opinion. It's probably because I paint cars myself, but I love the forward number. That is, I think it's so cool. It gives so much more room for a good design. I know a lot of people hate it. Very unpopular opinion. It's my opinion.
It's my opinion. Got Genevieve Estelle also in the comments saying "Go Everett" with one of those little race car emojis. Everett doing a great job here tonight so far, up into 5th. He's currently trying to challenge Brandon Trush up there for that 4th position. I think he's actually going to get it done that time by. But up at the front, still Mitchell Wilson leading this race. As we go on, Mitchell Wilson again been wall to wall so far. Frank Marchese in that 24 car trying to get up there and challenge. He's going to be trying to go to the inside right here. But Mitchell Wilson does a really good job of blocking that lane off. And then Jamie Horn slowly but surely creeping his way up. Definitely someone going to be one to watch out for as this race goes on.
Yeah, I have my eye too on Brian Gibbons just a little bit earlier. I haven't talked about him much tonight. That last run before the caution came out, he was moving up through the pack. Started up pretty high after the caution too, not pitting or anything. So maybe the tire's taking some effect, but I think he might be a guy that can have a good long run car here tonight as well. I expect to see him near the front.
Yeah, and that was just that's a weird caution where it's, you don't want to go in and take tires, you don't want to give up the track position, but Nashville also one of those tracks where it's just going to eat your tires up in kind of a sneaky way where you're not really going to notice it until it kind of reaches out and grabs you by the nose and is like, hey, you don't have any tires, buddy.
Yeah, that's what I went back and looked. While we were talking about Everett, I was curious because all these guys stopped. A lot of them only did fuel only. So it was more of a fuel strategy play than a tire strategy play. So some of these guys that we may have expected to drive through the field because of fresher tires may have not taken fresher tires, in fact. So it may just be a fuel strategy difference with the guys that made that last pit stop.
And I can see that being the case as well, 100%. I mean, I know we talked about it before the race with the fuel set where it is. These guys are looking at somewhere between 45, 50-ish laps on one tank of gas, and we're not throwing that stage caution until lap 70. So I think a lot of people might be trying to play, like you said, Baker, a fuel strategy right there. But I'm actually not completely aware if anybody took tires on that first caution. But it looks like we do have a taker coming down to pit road. I can see it coming through the race chat here. It looks like Dagan Barnes is going to be bringing it down.
Ooh, Dagan looks like he's got some damage to that front.
Yep. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's what might have thrown that caution right there, unless there's something else that I was not aware of.
I'm showing Brady Zoller in the wall here, in the bottom of the track. Let's go back and take a
Yep.
look at that one.
Nope, that's what did it.
I believe it's going to be another self-spin right here. Oh, that car just snapped on him. Not too bad into the wall. Definitely some fixable damage there. But
Right around, like right around up into the front of the pack there, like you were talking about. That's exactly when iRacing's going to throw a caution. And really unfortunate to see Brady there, who we saw move back a little bit after that first caution. He had to go down there, cut a little bit of grass, but was working his way back up through the field really, really well. And then unfortunately just getting loose there again, snapping loose on him and bringing out our second caution of the night here on lap 28.
I would
just a
assume
little
that
bit
these guys
slower.
might take tires.
I would say now is when I'm very curious to see
Yeah.
what the pit strategies are going to look like.
Yeah.
Because now
Especially if it's-
you're definitely going to see everybody bring it down and get gas, I feel like.
Definitely that. The tires is the question. Like, if these guys think they can make it the full stage on tires, which I think they probably could, but I probably wouldn't want to stretch that. Unless you want to save a set, but I would assume that a lot of guys will take tires here.
You see him, that Raptor team back there. Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush taking tires. Gary Breland taking those right sides. Also going to be taking some left up ahead of him. Guys like Brandon Lopez. Looks like everybody's taking fours there.
And we have a race off of pit road there. It looks like Mitchell Wilson going to be able to maintain that position up front. He's going to have Jamie Horn behind him, Everett Larson, Ty Robertson, Brandon Trush. How they're all going to come off of pit road there. I do believe Scott Matthews stayed out for a lap there just to make sure that he got his lap back, but he's going to be coming down pit road now as well. Dagan Barnes also still down on pit road. You see Brady Zoller bringing it off right now as these guys are going to get back lined up. So that definitely changes things a little bit in terms of how you're going to run your race strategy here. As like we talked about earlier, the stage break is going to be on lap 70, or at the conclusion of lap 70 rather. So now all of these guys should very comfortably be able to make it on gas. It's just going to be, do you want to run it 40 plus laps, depending on when you last took tires, to make it to the stage break?
Oh, absolutely. I'm burning it down. Maybe not burning it down, but these tires will fall off before I pit again for the stage.
Yes.
That is going to shuffle things up front for us as well. Not for the leader, as Mitchell Wilson is going to remain our wall-to-wall leader so far as of lap 31 of 151 here at Nashville Superspeedway. Jamie Horn going to be restarting on his outside in second place. Everett Larson going to be in third place right behind your race leader, Mitchell Wilson. Ty Robertson going to be in fourth place. Brandon Trush going to be fifth. Frank Marchese sixth. Zach Baker going to be restarting seventh. Brandon Lopez eighth. Brian Gibbons ninth. And Ronald Breland going to be restarting in 10th place. Brady Zoller, for getting all those repairs done, going to be 11th. Thomas McLaughlin 12th. And then Scott Matthews is going to be one lap down in 13th place. Dagan Barnes 2 laps down in 14th as that pace car makes the hard left-hand turn. And we are about to get back to racing here at Nashville Superspeedway, lap 31, when they cross the stripe. Another really
great
good
start.
restart.
Yeah.
3 for 3 on those here tonight.
I don't even know what Jamie Horn could have done right there on that restart. Like, I was watching him. I'm like, see what Jamie can do to hang with Mitchell. But, Mitchell just had another great start.
I mean, no disrespect in any capacity to Mitchell Wilson there, but like, we know Jamie Horn is really, really great on restarts. And when you're in the lead, especially at a track like Nashville, where you're controlling the restart, it's so much easier to be able to get that good restart as long as you know what you're doing. And like, again, that is no disrespect in any capacity to Mitchell Wilson. He did exactly what he needed to do right there, as he has done the previous 2 times. I mean, he obviously knows this track. He knows what he wants to do, and he has played it to perfection. All these restarts, including this one.
A good battle going on for fifth between Ty and Frank. Ty Robertson was in front, I believe, of Brandon Trush and Frank Marchese, but may have got a little tight on the exit of turn 2 a few laps ago, and now is racing on the outside of Frank Marchese. I don't know if that outside's where you want to be on the start of a run, but
Yeah,
he's trying his best.
That was actually going to be my next question, coming from both you, Baker, and John. But talk to me about the different lines here at Nashville and what these guys are kind of seeing as they're trying to make these passes, and whether you'd rather be on the high side or the low side.
What a question. I'd love to answer that for you. The fastest one. That's my best answer I have for you. And that's just going to be a matter of running a lot of laps and finding out where it's at, just putting on tracks up and stuff. At this track here, you can run that second lane in 1 and 2 and still be pretty fast. 3 and 4, you can actually run the top side and still be pretty fast. I know you're going to see some guys like Jamie Horn probably elect to take the high side given the chance if he is in the lead under a restart. But Jamie Horn getting really loose there.
What a save.
What a catch by Jamie Horn.
Personally, I'd rather be on the low side because I know that's the line I want to run. I know I have a lot of laps ahead of me. I need to save tire. I don't need to worry about being fast now. I'd rather be fast at the end. And there's nothing more frustrating to me than when you're trying to run your line. You're just racing somebody side by side. You can't get to your line. Then you get passed by about 20 people. End up in the back.
We saw Everett Larson there gaining a lot of time on Jamie Horn. Kind of tried to pull it to his bumper there, and we saw Jamie get a little bit loose there, but able to catch it really well. Only sitting back in 3rd place now, and he's got his teammate Brent Trush right there behind him. But kind of a replay back to before we had that first caution where Mitchell Wilson still out in the race lead, getting a lot of laps led here tonight. And now he's got Everett Larson kind of knocking at the door right there, trying to get into the race lead. But I mean, talk about both of these guys. I mean, both these guys very obviously not new to the racing scene, but new to the Knapp Daddy Racing League in general. But both Mitchell Wilson and Everett Larson have been having fantastic seasons so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Mitchell Wilson's been tearing it up. I think he's still searching for that first win. So is Everett Larson. But know it's coming pretty soon. And as a race owner, and I've said this before, is nothing makes you more happy. And again, I don't want to manipulate any race, but I love seeing a different winner every week because it shows me how competitive the league actually is. If you have one guy going out there and winning every single week, nobody wants to see that. But if you have a guy that it switches up every week, that is good content. That's good racing there.
I think Everett won the first race, didn't he?
You might be right, and I could be blanking.
Because I think we've had different winners every week so far. I know Ty has a win. Brandon Lopez won last week.
It is. Right now, your current race winners are Ty Robertson, Ronald Breland, Jamie Horn, and Brandon Lopez. This is not counting the preseason race.
Oh, maybe the preseason race is what I'm thinking of.
And I think we're going to have a repeat. I know we're going to have a repeat winner. But it's cool to get out into these first 4 or 5 races here and still have different people winning it. And just everybody's out here competing really hard. The points are kind of close right now still. It's like Everett Larson trying to make a move here on the outside. Mitchell Wilson giving him that window. See if Everett stays here on the high side and tries to rip it out, if he tries to fall back and cross over.
I was saying that's so funny too, like when you talk about different racecraft and different strategies and things like that. But when you see two guys who obviously know what they're doing, what they're trying to accomplish, in this case, Mitchell Wilson and Everett Larson, the fact that Mitchell Wilson seems pretty willing to give Everett Larson that high side kind of tells you something about how confident Mitchell Wilson feels in that car on the low side. But maybe Everett Larson feels something totally different as you see him getting a really good run on that high side. But as soon as we go into the entry and then into the exit, And as I say that, we have another caution
Once
here on
again.
lap 43. I believe it's going to be Gary Breland, Ronald Breland.
Every time that Everett looks like he's about to make that move. Naked pit once again.
And I swear to you, I think it's in the same exact spot that we've seen all night long, where it's just a one-car spin.
Yeah.
One
there
car
must-
spin exit a turn 2, and then the car happens to be in front of other cars, which is why iRacing is throwing the yellows.
Which I'm actually very happy about, that iRacing is willing to throw those cautions, because the last thing you want to see is someone just getting loose. And in that case, like you saw with Gary Breland, Ronald Breland right there, I mean, very little damage to his car, easily repaired, able to get back into the race 100%. The last thing you want to see a giant pile up from cars just flying around the track, and then either ending Breland's race or somebody else's.
We got a few takers here coming into the pits.
That actually surprises me a little bit. I mean, Breland not so much, but you got Brian Gibbons also coming down pit road. So you got Zach Baker coming down.
trying to think the
I
strategy
only
here.
thought as if
you,
they were closer on fuel than we thought, but that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, or if you do this, maybe you're setting yourself up for the win here at the end. Like coming in now, maybe we can pit again, lap 80 and 85,
Zach Baker
90.
took tires.
I don't know.
Really?
Interesting. Unless he's thinking he can make a run up before the stage and get some more stage points.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense if you were willing to burn your set of tires. You could make up a lot of ground right now and get some stage points. I mean, that's the thing.
I mean, that
Points
was
are
one of the
coming.
things that we were talking about before the race, with having the 4 sets of tires in this race. We were like, you know, I think that's more than enough tire to be able to get through the race. I think it's going to be the fuel strategy that kind of comes into play. So maybe that's Zach Baker taking advantage of exactly what we were talking about, thinking that, okay, I've got plenty of tires to get through this race. I'm just going to go ahead and take another set, try to get up here, get a really good stage finish, especially on a caution where you didn't see most people come down pit road. And I'm going to try to go out there and burn it down for the next, math is hard.
20, 24, 25 laps there, yeah.
Thank you, Baker. And just try to get back up there and get some stage points. Because other than that, I mean, everything's pretty similar up at the front. Mitchell Wilson going to be, again, restarting in first place. Everett Larson in second. Jamie Horn third. Ty Robertson fourth. Brandon Trush fifth. Frank Marchese sixth. Brandon Lopez 7. Brady Zoller 8. Thomas McLaughlin 9. And then you got the guys who pitted. Zach Baker, Brian Givens, and then Scott Matthews back there just got the lucky dog. He'll be trying to work his way up there.
Yeah, I want to pull up the points really quick before we go back green here too, so you can kind of see where we're at. Did not do this prior to the race starting, but you can see kind of the spread in this points. And I mean, it's pretty close to be week 4 already. Kind of starting to space out just a little bit, but not too much. If you want to see the rest of those points, you can head over to simracerhub.com, type in Knapp Daddy Racing League, and I'll show you a little screenshot of what it will look like here and see all the point standings for your favorite driver, as well as getting some stats on those drivers as well.
Pace car is taking the hard left-hand turn, lap 45 when we cross the stripe here, and believe a little unfortunate thing as the green flag flies here. It looks like Scott Matthews and Ronald Breland both disconnected from the session. Scott Matthews right after he got that lucky dog. But we are back underway in green flag racing. Another great restart for Mitchell Wilson. Maybe not quite as out there as, oh no!
There was a lot of stuff happening there at one time. That is
I think
unfortunate.
we're all
Looks like
just
Frank went.
pretty stunned
Yeah,
about what we just saw.
Frank was going in for the turn. I think
Yes.
Trush wanted to go in a little bit deeper to that corner.
Yeah.
See if I can get a behind the view shot of this.
I think they kind of just came together on the straightaway. It looks like to me.
Kind of seems like some net code at the beginning of that run too. No.
Brandon Trush come over the radio, take responsibility for that one. Like you said, it looks like there was some other stuff going on there as well, like maybe some net code or whatever it was, but still. Good job by Frank to avoid a whole lot of damage on that as well.
If we can check in with Frank, I know he's going to have some damage to that right front. That was pretty bad. I don't know how long it's going to take for him to get back on the track. Did you see him sitting there in the pit still? I think we've had more cautions tonight than we've had the entire season so far.
Yeah, I think that actually breaks it right there. I think that was the, what, fourth?
That is the
we've had so
fourth
far?
caution. I think we've had 4 cautions all season, not counting stage break cautions.
Really unfortunate timing, as well as it looks like Scott Matthews and Ronald Breland had some sort of connection issues as well, which set them out of the race. And then see Frank Marchese and Brandon Trush get together there. And Frank's still down on pit road getting some repairs, same as Dagan Barnes. I think Dagan Barnes got collected in that when Frank was coming back up onto the track, but as far as what we have out there on the track currently, Mitchell Wilson's still going to be leading the race. Everett Larson going to be in second place. Jamie Horn going to be restarting in third. Ty Robertson in fourth. Zach Baker going to be restarting in fifth place. Then we're going to have Brian Gibbons in sixth. Brady Zoller in seventh. Thomas McLaughlin in eighth. Brandon Trush in ninth. Brandon Lopez in 10th. And then after that is going to be the cars that we currently have not on the track, which is going to be Frank Marchese in 11th, Scott Matthews 12, Dagan Barnes 13, and Ronald Breland 14. I believe Dagan Barnes actually just came over the race chat and said parked. But the pace car has made the hard left-hand turn, and we are back to green flag racing here at Nashville Super Speedway, lap 51. When they cross the stripe there, yet another fantastic restart there for Mitchell Wilson. Right behind him, Jamie Horn. Everett Larson can be racing side by side with Ty Robertson looking for his spot as well. Zach Baker with a really good restart as well. Looks like he's gaining some time on those leaders as well.
Zach Baker does have those fresher tires than most of these guys, since he did make that pit stop a couple of cautions ago.
Yeah,
So that's something to watch as we go through these next 18 laps to the rest of the end of the stage.
That's somebody
100%.
I want to see, man. I think Zach Baker's going to try to make a move here to the front, get him some stage points, move him up in the standings.
Yeah, 100%, especially with the way that you saw those lead pack take off. I mean, Mitchell Wilson, Everett Larson, we've seen them kind of take off on restarts all night long, but Jamie Horn, Ty Robertson also all got a really good restart there. It kind of seemed like they pulled away from the pack, but in this case, I mean, Zach Baker really, really gained it on that front pack.
Ooh, Oh, they all got really tight right there on the exit of turn 4. This is going to be tough getting into turn 1 down here. I thought Ty was about to send it down in there, bottom 3 wide. I think he's still thinking about it.
He's looking at it. He's looking. He might do it.
He thought about it. But it's going to clear out there. Jamie Horn going to take second place away from Everett Larson. Everett Larson sitting in third. Ty Robertson still really looking for his moment to go there on that low side. Again, so funny how you can see the different drivers' strategies and where they feel comfortable with the car. Because you see a lot of these guys starting it up high and kind of diamonding it out to the low side, almost all the way down to the yellow line. Some even going in still
Zach
deeper
Baker.
than others.
Oh, he's loose off the track into the grass.
In the grass. You can keep it going straight. Looks like you can. What a save, though. Burned up the tires. He knew he needed to. He was trying his best. Just a little bit loose on exit of turn 2, which has been biting everyone tonight.
What's really cool out of Ty Robertson I'm seeing here is he's doing what's called setting the corners. He comes in, and it's kind of funny because we just had a conversation between me and Ty and Brandon for another league about that, about setting the corners when you come into it. And it's kind of almost like a little flick of the car when you go in. It helps the back end kick out just a little bit and helps you make that oval shaped corner a lot more of a straight line as you go through, saves you some tires and makes you a lot more fast on both entry and exit. And you see he kind of gets loose right before he starts to make entry into that corner.
Is that helping you carry speed on exit, or what's the whole thought process behind that?
You carry more speed through entry, mid, and exit. And the way when you're testing cars or learning a track is divide each corner up into thirds. You saw Brady Zoller get pretty loose there in the bottom of your screen, able to keep it straight, but Trush is going to catch up pretty quick. But if you can divide every corner up into thirds and think about, okay, well, my first third is slow, but middle third is fast, last third is fast, or my last third is very slow, then you start to critique a little bit. That's really how you build setups. And I know this is a fixed setup league, but it also works with that as well, about where my entry should be, where I should get on the throttle a little bit more, just where I should be faster at in the corner. But definitely setting your corners, I think it makes you a lot faster throughout the entire thing, because you're making a curve a straight line.
I know you just mentioned Brady Zoller getting a little bit loose there, allowing Brandon Trush to get by, which he did there. But Brady Zoller able to recover really, really well, because, I mean, he had Brandon Lopez already knocking at the door by the time he was able to get that thing going back at 12 and 6, and able to pull away, not just save himself from the caution, but also able to protect himself from losing another position. Only lost one spot off of that.
You see Jamie Horn there utilizing the apron, try to get a little bit more, and essentially just cutting the track down. And we say it a lot, shorter track, shorter time. Can make it a little bit faster, but the way iRacing works is it registers changes in elevation on those tires as little heat traps and can make your tires a lot hotter. He's getting very loose there.
Oh, he tried to send it down in there.
Jamie was sending it right there.
Goodness.
Able to save it. That's a really, really great save there, but he saw a hole and tried to send it and just could not find it.
I thought we were about to have a pass for the lead, but that's something that I've been watching Mitchell Wilson do. He was doing the same thing to Everett Larson earlier. By giving them the outside, it is forcing everyone to think differently on their entry to the turn. And so it looked like he was going to give Jamie the outside, and then
Everett Larson.
Everett Larson goes around.
It's like everybody is going to avoid that. That's going to bring out our 5th caution of the night. Man, those exits are just taking people right now.
Yeah, and like that's like we've had a lot of clean racing, and it's not anything against these drivers tonight. I think it's just the fact that this is a tough track. We said it at the beginning. The exit of turn 2 and turn 4 can bite you in the butt real fast. I mean, that's just what it is. It's you get in there, you think you can get a little bit more, and the next thing you know, it snaps loose on you. Now,
We've seen that just continue to bite like very, very talented drivers
yeah,
here tonight, where it's just that exit on turn 2, just trying to reach out and grab you, and it has been a nightmare tonight for a lot of guys. This caution flag definitely a nice saving grace for Zach Baker, though, who we've seen be fast all night long, going to be able to remain on the lead lap. We did start the race with 14 drivers. We do have 4 drivers out of the race so far. I believe Scott Matthews and Ronald Breland had some sort of connection issues. And then I believe Frank Marchese and Dagan Barnes, unfortunately, going to be taken out from that previous yellow flag that we had. But we do see some people bringing it down onto pit road here.
yeah, I like this strategy.
Right before the stage, absolutely.
Yes, I mean, so now at the end of the stage, everyone else is going to pit. I would guess that Jamie Horn and Brandon Trush are going to probably ride around pretty slow, not really push it. That way they can kind of save their tires as much as possible over these next few laps. And then when the stage ends, they'll stay out and they'll cycle to the lead. It's all about that track position, and that's definitely going to pay out and pay off at the start of the second stage.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out here as we come to the conclusion of the stage here. Once again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in here with us on this Monday evening here. I know there's a lot of different ways you can be spending your Monday evening, so thank you for choosing to spend it with your drivers and the Knapp Daddy Racing League. Got 38 people out there in the stream right now. Thank y'all very, very much for joining with us. Doesn't just mean the world to the drivers out here, but it means a lot to us up here in the booth. Myself, John, and Baker appreciate all of you for tuning in here with us, and hopefully we're putting on a pretty good show for you. I know we're a little late here getting started tonight. We apologize again for the technical difficulties, but we are trying to work all of that out here as you see your drivers getting gridded back up here as we are about to go green flag racing here in just a second. Mitchell Wilson once again going to be restarting in the first place position. He has been wall to wall with this thing so far. Ty Robertson restarting second. Brady Zoller coming back from some earlier issues, going to be restarting in third place. Brandon Lopez going to be restarting in fourth. Brian Gibbons in fifth. Thomas McLaughlin in sixth. Everett Larson, really good save right there, going to be restarting in seventh. And then you're going to have Zach Baker, Brandon Trush, and Jamie Horn. As you see the pace car make the hard left-hand turn, and we are going to get back to green flag racing here at the Nashville Superspeedway, lap 65 when we cross the stripe.
Just as I expected, Brandon Trush, Jamie Horn laying way back. They're not really going to push these tires at all. They're going to stay as far behind everyone else as they can right now. I was surprised that more people didn't try that strategy.
It looks like they're going to be going for the win here. Maybe not so much for points. They will get a few points if they're able to get inside that top 10. But
oh, we got to spin.
that's Zoller into the wall. And since it is lap 66, that is going to be the stage. So the drivers will be scored from when the caution came out. So it looks like Mitchell Wilson, I believe these are also very unofficial because I'm just going off the top for what I see here. Mitchell Wilson, Ty Robertson, Brandon Lopez, Brian Gibbons, Everett Larson, your top 5 for those stage points. Then it's going to go to Thomas McLaughlin, Zach Baker, Jamie Horn, Brandon Trush, and then Brady Zoller. I was looking at the wrong names earlier, talking about them getting in the top 10. They were already in the top 10 there, so good on them to get those points and still get some new tires. They will not have to pit here, but everybody else will.
Heard some of the guys coming over the radio saying, what is going on with the pace car driver tonight? Because it seems like he is just very, very slow. Once again, reminder to everybody that since we did have a caution there before our general stage break, they will be scored from where they were when the caution flag came out. So when you see these guys going down pit road, they're basically treating this as a standard caution. Everyone was scored from where they were when the caution flag came out. As you will see here out at the front, that is going to allow Zachary Baker, Jamie Horn, and Brandon Trush to cycle to your race lead, as everyone else is going to be bringing it down pit road for 4 tires and fuel before we get this race back underway.
I'm looking forward to see what Mitchell Wilson does now that he's not in the lead and not in control of this race. I am very curious to see how he will work back through this field. Obviously, he's been fast. He's dominated up to this point. But now instead of Jamie Horn trying to work past him, he's going to have to work past Jamie Horn and Brandon Trush and Zach Baker. This will be very, very interesting to see what Mitchell Wilson, who's been incredibly fast, see what he does.
I'm excited to see that too, and like you said, yes, he has been incredibly fast. We've been seeing him get fantastic restart after fantastic restart up there at the front, but the other thing is he's not only been fast, I mean, his strategy up front has been perfect. I mean, like you said earlier, I know you were making notice of it earlier, Baker, but I mean, the way that he's going into every single entry and kind of letting people have that high side, so people think they can just enter on the high side and be able to get around him. He's so fast on that low side now to exit that no one's able to get around him. So you've seen, I think at this point, you've seen 2 people almost wreck trying to get back down to that low side and dive bomb up underneath him and lose it because they're trying to get past him. I mean, he's been playing his cards exactly how you would want someone who's been leading this race the entire time to be playing them. I mean, so we're going to be able to see if that strategy is able to work the same way and if that speed's going to come into play here when he's not starting in first.
Something to note is that I do believe Zach Baker's tires are from the earlier caution, so not a ton of laps on them, but also, if I'm not 100% sure when he last pitted, so it may have been from that little time where he went off track. I don't know if he got fresh tires after that or not. Not 100% sure, but just something to watch on this restart.
We will see as we come to the restart here. Zach Baker taking the green flag here at Nashville Superspeedway. Lap 70 when we cross the stripe. Jamie Horn restarting second. Brandon Trush, Mitchell Wilson, Ty Robertson, Ryan Gibbons, Thomas McLaughlin, Brandon Lopez, Brady Zola making up for top 10 here. That's actually the only 10 cars on the track, as 11 through 14 are unfortunately off of the track.
Jamie Horn looking to make quick work of Zach Baker by diving it off into turn 3 right there on the bottom. And I'm not sure what Zach Baker might be able to have for him or not right here. Jamie Horn is now your leader with clean air. That is going to be a huge help for him. That's that track position. That's why they did that strategy.
100%. I mean, I think as Everett, not Everett Wilson, as Mitchell Wilson was showing earlier, whenever you get a driver at clean air at Nashville Superspeedway, I mean, that is just a problem for the rest of the field. I mean, he did such a good job of controlling that all race long so far. And then you have Jamie Horn, who's another driver that's been so fast here tonight, who was one of those guys that we saw almost lose it trying to get around Mitchell Wilson. Now you have clean air for Jamie Horn out front, and that is not what the rest of these drivers want to be here.
I'm really excited to see what Mitchell Wilson does here. I mean, he's been very smart about this entire race, been up at the front this entire race, and now for the first time he's got a little bit of obstacles to work through here in the forms of Brandon Trush, Zach Baker, Ty Robertson on his inside, and Jamie Horn leading this race. Not to mention Everett Larson right behind him, and just mentioning those names, I mean, that is a tough pack to hang with right there. But Mitchell Wilson been showing off here tonight, leading just about every single lap. Only 3 lead changes.
Well, and I think that kind of goes back to what I was saying before as well. Like you said, but yeah, he's been incredibly fast tonight. All the compliments in the world to him. But I mean, his strategy up front as well, while battling with these other really fast drivers. We saw it happen with Everett Larson. We saw it happen with Jamie Horn. We saw it happen with Zach Baker. Guys that can run speed-wise with Mitchell Wilson here tonight. But Mitchell Wilson was just playing, I mean, if you were sitting at a poker table, you wouldn't want to be on the other side of him because he was doing exactly what you want someone to do when they're in that position, making the other people make the hard decisions. He was just racing his race, minding his line, and because of him doing exactly what he planned to do during the race, it was making everyone else make the hard decisions. We saw other people messing up because of it.
He got a little tight under Zach Baker right there, keeping him side by side off of turn 2. I'm assuming he's probably going to try and take this position right here in 3 and 4 if he can. But let's see how he does this exit right here. Kind of waited on throttle, got a great exit, nice clean pass, well done.
And you see he's not using that bottom there of the track, the apron we were talking about earlier. Anytime the tires in those cars move up and down, that's what iRacing registers as a hot spot. So it tries to heat up the tires a little bit more. Might not happen that way in real life, but at least in the game it does. That's why tracks like Rockingham and Auto Club are so tough, because it'll burn the tires as bumpy as it is. So it's a good way to cut down the track, but also going to heat your tires up just a little bit more.
Jamie Horn and Brandon Crush 1 and 2 in this race. But John, I know you love talking about strategy and seeing how different drivers are kind of maneuvering their way around the track. Talk to me about what you saw out of Mitchell Wilson here early in the race that was making his start of the race so successful.
I have this old saying that a guy that I consider a mentor, I guess, in iRacing kind of taught me was you got to play offense while you're playing defense, and also play defense while you're playing offense. And that's kind of what he was doing there. He was running his line, being aggressive, staying out front, but also making it tough for people to get around him. Not by blocking or doing something egregious or crazy. It's just not even egregious, just part of racing, but making them very uncomfortable in the lines that they had to run. And that's what you have to do here, is make people uncomfortable. And that's what makes really a good league and good fun racing around, is trying to work around somebody that's not blocking you or making it like you have to go through their car, but just making you off your line a little bit where you have to figure it out yourself.
It's exactly what Brandon Trush just did to Mitchell Wilson. Mitchell Wilson thought he was going to have some clean air right on the bottom, and Brandon Trush just shut the door on him. And he got pretty tight right there and kind of backed up into Everett Larson. But
Look at the
I don't
send.
know, Mitchell was he's sending it down in there again. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a very difficult pass to get around Brandon Trush.
And the problem with trying to send it in so early there on turn 3 is that if you start low, your car is going to be a lot tighter coming into that corner, so you have to slow up a whole lot more. You see Brandon Trush up there in second place kind of get more of an arc, so he's able to get a lot more speed coming out of the corner. Everett Larson now on the high side of Mitchell Wilson, trying to push it through. And if you're Wilson, the thing is, you have to realize you are fast. You have led a lot of laps. Do what got you there. Keep doing that. Don't give in to these people playing offense while they're playing defense and trying to make a move that's crazy. Run your line. You know you can be up there at the front. Don't burn them up.
And just again, you see the different lines coming into play. We saw Everett Larson using that bottom line, or not Everett Larson. I keep messing that up. You saw Mitchell Wilson using that low side to his extreme advantage while he was in the lead of this race so many times. And you just saw Everett Larson there using the high side and able to make it work for him exactly the way he wanted it to. And now Everett Larson back up in second place in this race, trying to chase down Jamie Horner after he got around Brandon Trush right there.
Yeah, Everett Larson hit go and got a 2-for-1 special. And he was looking on the outside, trying to stay in line for a while, and then he just went and got around Mitchell Wilson and Brandon Trush within one lap. It was a very fast move, but also got him really good track position to get in front of them in one lap. It's a great lap for Everett Larson.
And kind of
Got
what I'm
some
seeing out of
comments
him
here. Oh.
in his car is that he is pretty loose, especially coming off the corners. But I think that's what makes you fast. And I think any fast driver will tell you that the car is a little bit scary to them when they're driving. That's how you know you're fast. If the car is not scary when you're driving it, you're probably not going fast enough. So I mean, you want to push it right to that limit, get all you can.
And Mitchell
some
Wilson
comments
finally
in
went
here
up to
as
that
well.
outside
Sorry.
too. Sorry, yeah, Mitchell Wilson's looking like he's trying to get around Brandon Trush using the same move that Everett Larson made. Sorry, go ahead, Hunter.
Yeah, hit the
Nope,
comments.
you're good.
Phil.
Sorry, just trying to check the comments here. Lily Hines saying, thanks for narrating this live stream, guys. Of course, happy to do it. We appreciate it very much. Got Robbie Wilson saying, Mitchell has a good run going. Come on, son. Mitchell Wilson does have a good run going. And then Genevieve Estelle agreeing with Lily Hines saying, I agree. Y'all are great. I'm blushing. Thank you so much. And then just your average Jake saying, let's go, Mitch. And then Lily Hines saying, you got this, Everett, and way to go. We have got some fantastic racing going on up here at the front. You got a clump coming up there.
Wow.
Back in 4th, 5th, and 6th. Zach Baker getting a little loose right on top of Brandon Trush right there. Able to save it. Got Brandon Lopez and Brian Gibbons back there trying to chase down the race leaders. Then you got Thomas McLaughlin and Brady Zoller about 9 seconds off the race leader right now in 9th and 10th place. But boy, do you have some exciting racing going on up front right now.
I know from experience, Jamie Horn is very, very fast at this track. I think this is one of the few races that I almost beat him at, and I really think it was because he was giving it to me. He gave me actually a good little push there with 2 to go. And I say almost because I spun it on the last lap in typical John Smith fashion.
So sad.
I will say I think I got a little assist on that spin, but can't blame the other guy. He was racing for the win. It was a good bump. I love a good clean, like not a clean, but a good run like that at the end.
Oh, 100%.
I think that was the happiest I've ever been. I got spun. I'll say that.
I know we talk about all the time, like, about trying to keep a caution for your race and make sure the guys are racing safe. And, I mean, honestly, the track at Nashville tonight's been super, super tough. I'm honestly really proud of the guys in general for being able to maintain it the way they have. But, I mean, all bets are off when it's 2 to go. I mean, that just is what it is at that point. I mean, unless you're just egregiously dumping somebody, I mean, you just got to do what you got to do at the end. I mean, you talk about even teammates. I think that's a quote from you, John, where it's, I would be the best teammate you ever had until 2 to go, or until the good Lord comes back.
Yeah, especially 2 to go or 1 to go. We are not teammates anymore. I am sorry. I'm not going to dump you, but I'm not going to let you win. And I don't expect my teammates to do the same thing for me. I expect them to do the same to me. Just all bets are off.
It's like we have a car on the bottom trying to merge back up, and that is going to be the number 1 of Brady Zoller. He's trying to get merged back up there, but we have Jamie Horn right now still in the race lead here at Nashville on lap 90. Up from 13th to 1st place right now. He's got just under a second of a lead on Everett Larson, who's sitting about 0.8 of a second back. Mitchell Wilson only about 0.2 behind Everett Larson right now. And Ty Robertson only about 0.2 behind Mitchell Wilson. And you got about 0.8 to get back to Brandon Trush in 5th place right now. And then Brandon Lopez and Zach Baker both within a half a second of Brandon Trush right now for the top 5. Brian Gibbons made up a good amount of time here over the last couple laps as well. He's sitting in 8th place. He was about 5 seconds back a few laps ago. He's only 3.6 seconds back now, sitting in 8th place.
Yeah, we talked about him a little bit earlier, how he had that good run at the end of that event. So might be saving something up here for us at the end. I mean, even as the cars are kind of spread out, he's only 3.6 behind.
Something else I do want to bring notice to as well, and I'm sorry to keep shameless self-promoing, but we have 48 people in the live stream right now, which I think is setting our new concurrent viewer record. So once again, just thank you all so much from the bottom of our hearts, from myself and John and Baker up here in the booth, but also for all these drivers out here that put so much time in and put all this work in to try to put on a good show. And we've just been so impressed here in season 2 of the Knapp Daddy Racing League about the show that these guys are putting on. Both faces you recognize from season 1 and some newer guys who have just joined us. But I mean, it's been a real privilege to get to know these guys and see them out here on the track, and in some cases be able to race with them. But I mean, this has been incredible season 2 so far, and thank you all for tuning in to check out some of the action. We appreciate it so much.
Showing you this battle box right here between your top 3, Jamie Horn, Everett Larson, Mitchell Wilson. Jamie Horn up 12 spots for the night. Mitchell Wilson starting on that pole, and then back down to 3rd place after that pit stop at the stage break. But these guys are giving it their all right now. Jamie Horn pulling out just a little bit more at lap after lap. Again, if I'm Jamie Horn, I'm borderline driving out my rearview mirror right now to see where Everett Larson and Mitchell Wilson and Ty Robertson even is at right now, because I know those 3 guys are very fast.
Yeah, we're saying it's a weird situation right now here too, where you've got, if you're Jamie Horn, I mean, you've done such a good job here on this green flag run. You've pulled out to over a second of a lead. You've been crushing it. You've got your laps led. Then you have Everett Larson, who we've seen be incredibly fast tonight. You've got Mitchell Wilson, who led most of the laps at the beginning of this race. He's currently trying to figure out a way to get around Everett Larson, which he has not been able to do just yet. Ty Robertson, always very fast, just been sitting there waiting for his opportunity. And even Brandon Trush, and you can argue Brandon Trush is in an even better position, being 1.9 seconds back, because he's actually got a little bit of clean air, having some of that separation from Ty Robertson there on the end of that line. Same thing for Zach Baker. I mean, all these guys in that top 6 right now are very much still within contention, and even Brandon Lopez and Brian Gibbons. Brandon Lopez being 3.5 seconds back in 7th, Brian Gibbons being 4.1 seconds back in 8th. These guys all still absolutely have a chance to get up there and be competitive, and we do still have one more pit stop that's going to have to come through before this race is over, so you can even take into account a guy like Thomas McLaughlin, who's currently sitting 17 seconds back. You play your cards right, you can end right back up there. I do believe Brady Zoller has decided to call it a night, and that number 1 car, he is now 6 laps down and has brought it down onto pit road, so that will leave you with 9 cars on the racetrack and 9 cars on the lead lap.
Hunter, you just said something that got me thinking. Obviously, there is one more pit stop, and I was wondering how much of a fall off there is if these guys need to be thinking about short pitting, especially with for Everett Larson, Mitchell Wilson, and Ty Robertson. Like, if they short pit, maybe they can, flip some track position and get in front of Jamie Horn. But what I'm seeing is not a lot of tire fall off. There is, maybe you get a few tenths out of a brand new set of tires, but otherwise these guys have been running the same lap times almost for this whole run, which is wild to see for 30 laps. I mean, you're looking at the first laps they ran were right around, a 30 flat to 29.8, but now these guys are running 30.2, 30.1, 30.3 maybe for the last 20 laps.
Wow. Which
is really impressive. Now we'll see if, I don't know if these tires will fall off a cliff for these last few laps, as we see Ty Robertson got a little squirrely down in turn 1 and 2 and is falling back a little bit. But I'm wondering if these guys, might try to stretch this run as long as they possibly can, because they're not seeing that fall off.
That's actually a really interesting point that I had not even thought of, Baker. Because like you said, I mean, it's a situation where normally a track like Nashville is where you do kind of see those tires fall off a cliff, and that has just not been the case tonight. John, from your perspective, if you're these guys, and I don't know if you can pull up a last pitted or anything like that, but what would be your strategy going here into the end of this race?
I mean, I agree with Baker 100% what he's talking about there, but the alternative strategy is short pit. I love a good short pit strategy. I want to be coming in before that leader comes in for sure. If I'm Larson, Wilson, Trush, Robertson, anybody behind the leader, really, coming in just before him and knowing that the tires aren't going to fall off, I might come out and try to send it a little bit harder than I have been. I've had this whole race to kind of size up what my tires can and can't do and how much the fall off is, but I would be shocked if you see anybody take left side tires here.
Shocked if you see anybody take left side tire. Do you think it's going to be a 2-tire pit stop here at the end, even after these guys have been out here for 40 plus laps?
Absolutely. Either going to be a 2-tire stop, and you might even see somebody might not take tires if you're further back. And I'm not saying that's going to win you a race, but it might get you a little bit closer in case something happens. You save a set, and if something does happen later on, you do have a set to put on there at the end.
That's a good point.
We have our first taker onto pit road, and it is the number 12 of Zach Baker, and I think that's exactly what you were talking about, John, with the strategy. That's exactly what you want to be doing.
I mean, this is a very competitive league, as we've seen here so far. 4 different race winners over 4 races, and might be 5th different race winner tonight if Larson or Wilson or Trush could get up there in the winner's circle. But with competitive leagues, races are won and lost off pit road. This isn't like one of those official races where you might see some guys just pull away almost a lap ahead of everybody. Like in these leagues that are so competitive, you have to be good on pit road, have to be good off pit road.
I mean, Zach Baker with an absolutely flawless pit stop right there, but did go with the 4-tire strategy.
I think these tires will have like almost a plateau effect here where they will almost rest at a level like kind of what we're seeing here around this 3.3, kind of seeing some drops, about 3.2, 3.3 over the last lap. So I pull it up here for some of these guys, but then I think after a certain point they're going to make another fall off again.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Especially, like, I think the 2-tire strategy could work, especially for some of these guys that maybe have been saving their tires, but I don't know. We'll see. We have a great battle shaping up for second place.
I was about to say, Jamie Horn been pulling away the last couple of laps, increased his lead to almost 1.7 seconds and over 2 seconds. Just that last lap gave 4/10 over that last lap, but that's because there is a battle going on for second place between Everett Larson and Mitchell Wilson.
Yeah, they're going to lose a lot of time to Jamie Horn trying to battle, but they have to. I mean, Mitchell Wilson has to try to get around Everett Larson before this pit stop. He knows it. But then Everett Larson's probably going to try to pit before Mitchell Wilson.
Yeah, that way you have the guy in front of you so you know.
I would say it's just kind of a battle of the different situations right there. But like you said, if you're Everett Larson, you want that position. You want to be able to kind of control when you pit or anything like that. But also at the same time, it's Nashville, not the easiest track to pass.
Oh, Jamie Horn. Oh, Brandon Trush missed it.
Brandon Trush missed it.
He's going to try to keep it straight.
He's a little sideways. Yeah, he's going to keep it going. He missed the entrance of the pit road and ended up spinning it.
And Jamie Horn brought it down.
Yeah.
Let's see what Jamie does here. I figure he's going to take 2 rights. Mitchell Wilson able to get in front of Everett Larson. Going back to Jamie Horn here to see if the lefts are coming. It looks like they are actually. 2 lefts as well. So he's going to take 4 tires.
I think everybody's ignoring your strategy, John.
I don't blame them at all. And you know my strategy works maybe 40% of the time. It works 5% of the time. So
I would say for those that don't know, very often I'm very new to my own personal iRacing career being behind the wheel, but I've been John's spotter for like coming up on 2 years now. And having been John's friend for over 10 years now, I can confidently say that some of the bigger arguments that we've had have been while I'm spotting and he's racing. And I can also confidently say that fortunately or unfortunately, we're about 50-50 on those. And not afraid to let one another know when they made the wrong call. And I think actually at this point, I really can't sit on any sort of high horse, because I think last time we had to make a strategy call, I was wrong. So I can put my hand up on that one.
Just a little something for him, you know, just a little strategy call.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
in fairness, the last time we had to make a strategy call. I think you were calling for pit. I was not. I was dead wrong by a lot, because your finish was so much better because you pitted. I do think that the last 2 or 3 times before that, I was correct.
Yeah, we might be 50-50, but we're only about 2% on the win there, so.
I would say I think the last 2 or 3 times I think I was correct in the call, which I think worked out correctly for us twice, and then one time did not work out for us, which I may or may not have somewhat unkindly let you know about. But something else that's unkind right now is what's going on up front, as there's Mitchell Wilson.
I love it. Oh, slowing it down. I think he was good, though, on that entry. That was a
Out
good
of the battle for first. Mitchell Wilson and Everett Larson were there battling for the race lead. Mitchell Wilson bows out of the battle for the race lead to go ahead and bring it down pit road.
It was
Talk about sticking to your strategy.
Yeah. Jamie Horn was running some very fast laps. He was losing some track position, losing a lot of time, at least a couple tenths a lap. So we'll see what happens here. Now, Mitchell Wilson's going to have to come out here and put down some really fast laps.
Mitchell Wilson's going to be taking 4 tires. Everett Larson bringing it down right now. You see Mitchell Wilson getting off of there.
Maybe Everett will
give your
listen
race
to your
lead
strategy.
here.
If
we are just all over top of each other here.
It's
Ty
exciting.
Robertson, now your race leader.
It's exciting, man. What can I say? Ty's going to bring it down.
I believe that's going to give the race lead to Brandon Lopez. So I think your only drivers out here who have not pitted now is going to be Brandon Lopez, currently sitting in first, and then Brian Gibbons sitting in second. And I just heard Brandon Lopez come over the radio say that he was going to be bringing it down this time by. Brian Gibbons responding in the affirmative. Very curious to see if Brian Gibbons follows Brandon Lopez. He does not. Brian Gibbons now taking the race lead in that number 74 car.
So Gibbons and McLaughlin, the only 2 not to bring it down so far.
And Gibbons actually coming over the radio there. I was curious. I was like literally just about to ask. So is there a world where Gibbons makes it on fuel, but Gibbons comes over the radio, says that he is bringing it down this time by?
I mean, he could if he has some gas tanks in his car and could hold his hand out the window, but he might be able to make it there.
You ever seen the movie War Dogs?
Yes.
That scene where they're trying to run away from the gas station and the guy's hanging out the back of the car with the gas tank? God bless Dick Cheney's America.
Surprised Thomas has not brought it in yet, but I think he's going to get a lap led.
Also, for those at home, that was a joke. Dick Cheney, not a good person.
We all saw the documentary.
I'm wondering if, now to get us back on track here, I'm wondering if Jamie Horn is trying to save a little bit of tire right now. Everett Larson is putting down some fast laps. Some of the fastest we've seen of the night.
29.792 last time.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Compared to Jamie Horn's 30.29. That's why I think Jamie Horn's saving some, but Everett is putting it down right now. He knows he needs to make up some time. And I was expecting Mitchell Wilson to come out in front of Everett Larson and Ty Robertson, and yet they both jumped him in that pit cycle. I wonder if that pit entry that we were all watching maybe kind of hurt Mitchell Wilson. Also, these guys are putting down some really fast laps.
We do have a comment in here, and that is just your average Jake saying Mitch will climb back up, currently sitting in 5th place, but like you said, still a lot of racing left to do here. As we are doing 151 laps here at Nashville Super Speedway. We are only on lap 121. Also, we did, just for a second there, cross 50 viewers on the stream, which I think might be the first time we've ever done that.
I wish I had an animation to celebrate it, but
just get the Mr. Peanut, yeah!
Yeah, a little confetti go across the screen or something like that. But it's like Thomas McLaughlin going to bring it in, finally last pitted on lap 67, so he has been out for quite some time. Looking at the stint here for
no
looks
chance
like 54
for
laps.
No chance for Thomas to actually make it to the end there, but able to get some laps led, which reminder for everybody at home for the Knapp Daddy Racing League. You do get points for leading a lap. You do not get points for leading every single lap. So if you lead 80 laps, it does not matter versus the person that led 1 lap. You get the same amount of points. Genevieve Estelle in the comments saying, you got this, Everett, and just your average Jake saying solid racing tonight. It has absolutely been solid racing tonight. As I say that, caution flag is out. And I think it's Brandon Lopez.
This is going to get crazy here. I never want to caution, but I mean, if you were to script a caution for Larson, Robertson, Wilson, Baker, anybody here in the top 10 here, but this is it.
That was it.
This is a Netflix movie shaping up right now. Maybe not for Brandon Lopez, though.
No.
Oh, I think he got a little loose as Zach Baker gets right on that bumper, and we've seen that since this update about 6 months ago at this point now. But these next-gen cars, if the car gets too close to that back bumper on a corner, it just picks it up and spins it around. Which sounds like a country song for all you country lovers out there.
I actually just heard Brandon and Zach talking about it over the radio. Brandon was almost under the impression it seemed like that Zach might have made contact with him. It just wasn't the case, but then Zach was like, I promise you, I did not make any sort of contact with you. And then Brandon was like, well, then it was just the arrow in these cars because it sucks.
No, and that is a real thing what you're talking about there too. I remember the week this update came out, drivers were complaining that they were getting hit in the rear, especially at tracks like Daytona and big draft tracks in the corners. In Atlanta, another big one. They were getting hit by the cars behind them, and they really weren't. It's just the way the air packs up underneath them.
Interesting move from Gibbons staying out, but let's see if anyone takes 2 or 4 or what we got going on here.
See Jamie Horn taking rights right now as everybody else getting into their box. Flashing back up here to Jamie Horn. He's going to take all 4. It's like Everett Larson going to take 4 tires as well. Mitchell Wilson, same thing as Mitchell Wilson.
Oh, Wilson just takes 2.
Yeah, Wilson takes 2. I'm sorry. What a play.
Mitchell Wilson taking 2. Jamie Horn taking 4. I think Everett Larson took 4. And was just able to beat Ty Robertson off of pit road.
Man, if you pick Mitchell Wilson tonight, that is a great pick shaping up right here because we just talked about it earlier about how his times are a little bit slower. Also saw in the comments not too long ago, I'm trying to scroll back and see who said it. Just your average Jake, Mitch will climb back up. He was saving almost. I mean, like a little bit slower, letting some guys through. And if that was ever the right call, I don't know if he has a crystal ball in his car with him, but that could really be a big benefit the way he was saving before that.
100%. This is the time. I mean, this is exactly when you want to have your strategy tightened up. We're on lap 126 of 151. We're going green next lap by. This is exactly the time where you need to make sure that you have everything with your strategy tightened up and you're good to go. I think a lot of these guys probably taking their last set of tires or at least their last set of rights on this last caution here. So at this point, it's just going to be full send all the way to the very end.
And Brian Gibbons has a good strategy too, for two reasons. One, he's got the extra set of tires.
Yep.
Assuming he does have one more set, if there is another caution. But one thing we all noticed earlier is he was really strong on the back half of a run.
100%.
So, again, we have no idea how his car is going to respond on this restart compared to everyone else around him with fresher tires. But he has been really good and really fast with older tires. So
I mean,
this
if
will
he
be
can
exciting here.
And his tires aren't even that old realistically. So, I mean, at this point, if he can get a good restart here, get that clean air out in front, we've seen how difficult it can be to get around someone who has the clean air. As that pace car makes the hard left-hand turn, lap 128 when we cross the stripe here. And, buddy, that's a really good restart for Brian Gibbons. That's exactly what he would have wanted right there. Jamie Horn going to the inside, right behind Brian Gibbons. Mitchell Wilson going to the outside lane with Everett Larson on the inside. Ty Robertson, Brandon Lopez, Brandon Trush right behind them with Zach Baker and Thomas McLaughlin right behind.
Everyone got a little tight there on the extra pair of four. But everyone's keeping it together.
Just your average Jake in the comments saying, let's go Wilson, and I called it. Anyone that didn't call Mitchell Wilson to be up near the front at the end of this race, I don't know.
Jamie Horn looking at that inside.
I don't know what you might be smoking, but I want some.
There goes Jamie Horn, right back to the lead with those fresh four tires.
Look at Mitchell Wilson trying to work the outside on Everett Larson here. Brian Gibbons still very much holding his own on that outside lane right there.
Yeah, here's the problem for Wilson, though. He might get boxed in here.
Y'all got really tight.
Oh, they're going to go
Wilson
three
at the
wide.
top.
Oh, they thought about it. They thought about it.
Oh, Gibbons got a little bit of the wall.
Yeah, I think Gibbons caught the wall there. I think Mitchell Wilson's still thinking about trying to take it three wide here.
He might go three wide in the middle. He is. Trush there on the bottom. Gibbons on the high side. Wilson right there in the middle.
Get tight. It's going to be tight. Oof.
What a move. Wilson does not mind being the meat in the sandwich. They're able to confidently get through. Got to hold this turn here to secure that pass, though. Around Gibbons is Ty Robertson able to sneak through. Meanwhile, Jamie Horn getting out to about a 6/10 of a lead with Larson behind him.
Brandon Lopez trying to make moves on the inside. Couldn't quite get past Ty Robertson right there. But then here comes Mitchell Wilson on the outside, trying to work his way around Brandon Trush. He's going to try to get Ty Robertson on the next turn as well, but that inside lane worked really well for Brandon Trush.
Ooh, that was close there.
Lit up. He's like,
Should just heard
Got-
Trush come
he's
over
got
the
really tight,
radio
yeah.
saying, my bad, got really tight.
well, I thought Brandon Lopez was about to send it down in there. Bottom of three wide for a second. He thought better of it.
Oh, Zach Baker
Oh,
loose.
what we-
Gibbons down on the grass.
They both kept it going straight. They spun at the exact same time, but kept it going straight. Both of them did.
That was just enough of a distraction to get Mitchell Wilson up into fourth. And I say distraction because every time I go off a person, they make a pass. It's like the
We have
broadcaster
Jamie-
first in reverse.
Yeah.
Got Jamie Horn in the lead by about 0.7 of a second. Then you got Ty Robertson in third, about another 0.6 of a second back. And then Mitchell Wilson about 0.7 behind Ty Robertson. Brandon Trush sitting about 0.4 behind Mitchell Wilson. And then Brandon Lopez rounding out the top 6 right there. Going to be about 4/10 behind Brandon Trush. Does anyone have the tires or the gas to make any sort of moves here late in the race? Only about, 16 laps to go?
16 to go.
All right, predictions now. Who thinks that any of these positions in the top 3 will change? Yes or no answer?
Yes.
I'm leaning towards a no. I
Yes.
mean,
I think there's going to be a change here between
I
1
mean,
through 4
Everett-
somewhere.
yeah, Everett's coming, but I don't know. I'm just not. I don't know yet. It's gonna be really close.
I have the change in my head, and I don't want to say it.
You have what change you think will happen in your head.
Yep.
Well, I'll say what mine is. And this, again, this is no disrespect at all to Ty Robertson, who I feel very lucky to not only call his races as a broadcaster, but I feel lucky to call him a friend as well. I think Mitchell Wilson gets around here. I think that's where we see a change. I think Mitchell Wilson gets his way at least into 3rd place here.
I was going to say Robertson gets ahead of Larson to finish in 2nd place, but I think Jamie Horn could have this in the bag. I just don't know how much he's got saved up in there. I know Jamie's fast. I know he's been saving tonight, and we've seen some strategy play from him, and he's definitely got a good car. I know he likes this track a whole lot.
I think with the clean air, too, I think it's going to be really hard to get around Jamie Horn unless he makes a mistake.
Yeah, he's starting to pull away now too.
Mitchell Wilson is a great competitor on the racetrack or a golf course. Robbie Wilson, D2C.
What is Mitchell Wilson's handicap? Is my next question. Because if he could dust me on the racetrack and also dust me on the golf course, that makes me angry.
I promise you it's better than mine.
I finished last season as a 12 handicap, which is, I think, the lowest I've ever been.
I'm better than you then.
What?
Yeah, 25's higher than 12.
Huh?
Hey,
25's higher than 12.
oh man, we don't need to talk about that one time we went golfing back in college. I hit what was it, a 20 on a par 5? Yeah, that was bad.
John Larson in the comments. Everett's got one more penny to stack, and then Robbie Wilson saying 4. Great, cool. So Everett Larson is currently racing in 4th place, or excuse me, Mitchell Wilson. I'm so sorry. Racing in 4th place on the track and is a 4 handicap. I changed my mind. I hate it.
Oh man.
No, that's wildly impressive. It just makes me once again realize, as a courtesy of broadcasting these races, how untalented I am.
Makes you realize that you have no talent, actually.
0. This dude is out here dusting people on the racetrack with perfect strategy, sitting in 4th place right now, and would beat me by statistically 8 or more strokes on the golf course. Awesome. I feel lovely. What does make me feel lovely, though, as we come in here with, I believe, 9 to go here this time by, is that we have 52 people in the stream. How cool is that, boys?
I love it.
Pretty cool. It's
Love
amazing.
to see it, and I appreciate everybody being here and supporting their people. Not just we appreciate it; these guys out here appreciate it a whole lot. And I mean, the points battle right now is just kind of all over the place. Jamie Horn, 7th place in points. A win tonight would definitely move him up. But Mitchell Wilson grabbing that stage win, that's going to be 10 extra bonus points. And the way this league works is for every stage win that you get 2 extra points towards your playoff total. So once we do move into those playoff races, he will be 2 points higher than other people who have not picked up a stage win. I'm sorry, it is 1 point for a stage win, 2 points for a win. So it definitely helps out at the end. As you're watching, looks like Everett Larson starting to draw in Jamie Horn by about 2/10 over the past 2 laps here.
Everett Larson now about 0.6 of a second behind Jamie Horn here. Ty Robertson about 1.7 seconds back in 3rd place. Mitchell Wilson about 2.6 seconds behind the race leader in fourth, and then Brandon Trush going to be about 3.2 seconds back in fifth place. Brandon Lopez just over 4 seconds back of the race leader in sixth. Zachary Baker made great time getting back up as well after him and Brian Gibbons both got loose. They're just about 10 laps to go, but Zach Baker only about 4 seconds behind Brandon Lopez in seventh place.
I saw Brian Gibbons make a pass around Thomas McLaughlin to move himself up into eighth place.
Robbie Wilson in the comments, Mitchell was club champion 2025 at Four Lakes Country Club in Edwardsburg, Michigan. Great, he was a club champion too. It's better and better.
He's still got his own parking spot up there.
His bio on the next race, it'll list all these things, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, make his bio the next race also good at golf.
30 for 30 with Mitch Wilson there.
Also good at golf. Hunter hates himself. We are fast approaching the conclusion of this race on a different topic other than my bad golf game. Jamie Horn has about 7/10 of a lead on Everett Larson. Ty Robertson about 2 seconds back. Mitchell Wilson about 3.1 seconds back in fourth place. Brandon Trush trying to gain some ground in fourth place. He's only about 2/10 behind Mitchell Wilson, trying to get that fourth place position away. As we cross the strike to make it lap 149 of 151 here at Nashville Superspeedway. Does anybody have anything to try to run down Jamie Horn? And does anybody have anything to run down Everett Larson there for second place?
It's just been good battles all night across the track. This is the first time we've actually seen a little bit of separation between this top five. I usually have at least some kind of battle going on, but 2 to go. I mean, these guys are starting to really settle into their positions here, trying to chase each other down, but I think it's just going to be a little bit too late for these drivers. They're spaced out just a little too far between each other.
Yeah, I mean, what a show these guys have put on here tonight. I mean, it's been impressive on every level, from the different strategy plays that we've seen these drivers make to end up in the positions that they're in, to the way these guys were able to battle when they were already in first. I mean, just so many different storylines here tonight that were so impressive. But we take the white flag here on lap 151 here at Nashville Superspeedway. Jamie Horn still with 7/10 of a second of a lead over top of Everett Larson. As we come into the final stretch here, about to cross the stripe, Jamie Horn gonna take the checkered flag here at Nashville Superspeedway. Well done to everybody involved here. What a race we had at Nashville. Jamie Horn gonna take the victory here tonight at Nashville. Everett Larson gonna come home in second place. Ty Robertson gonna finish in third place. Mitchell Wilson, what a run by him tonight, gonna finish in fourth. Brandon Trush in fifth place tonight. Brandon Lopez gonna come home in sixth. Zachary Baker gonna come home in seventh place. Brian Gibbons in eighth. Thomas McLaughlin gonna finish ninth tonight. Brittany Zoller 10th. Frank Marchese 11th. Scott Matthews 12th. Dagan Bars 13th. And Ronald Breland gonna finish 14th. As Jamie Horn pulls it down onto that checkered flag stripe and burns it down.
And that's going to be just about it here for this race itself as we pull up the race results for the nights that come up there. Finally, it's Jamie Horn taking home first place, Everett Larson in second, Ty Robertson third place, Mitchell Wilson in fourth. Then you're going to have Brandon Trush in fifth, followed by Brandon Lopez. Behind him, Zach Baker, Brian Gibbons, Thomas McLaughlin, and Brady Zoller to wrap up your top 10 for this race here tonight. It's been a very good one. Been very fun to watch, very competitive all around, and a lot of good driving for what we lack in the quantity of drivers. Definitely have the quality, and that's what we're trying to build here is good quality racing to make this one of the more competitive leagues out there. And I mean, just looking at these iRatings here, it's definitely some of the higher strength of field leagues I've seen. So, but we do have some interviews coming up with your top 3 here in a second. But in the meantime, we're going to take a break, and we will be right back. And we are back. Coming up first, I do have your third place finisher in Ty Robertson. So I drag him up to the booth. Ty, you got a copy of us in the booth?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man, congratulations on P3 tonight. Sorry, Baker, I cut you off. My fault. But it was a fantastic run for you here. Trying to get that track position there at the end. Talk us through the dirty air of this track and how important it was to have clean air.
I mean, it was a big factor. If you fell back like 3 or 4 spots, it's very hard to get it back. Anytime you're in the dirty air, it will not turn when you get right up behind someone. And also off the corner, if you have a car right behind you, it tries to get you really loose. The air in these cars is all over the place.
Yeah, man. I saw it. We were watching it. So many people had a pretty messy night, but you kept it so clean. I mean, out of all the people we were watching, a lot of people got squirrely at certain points, but you had a very clean race. Talk us through like some of these restarts. The restarts look pretty tough. Tell us about what this kind of looked like and felt like to you.
Yeah, the restarts were very hectic at times. The runs go all over the place. Like the draft has a little bit of an effect, but it's not enough to where you're gonna get like massive runs. But if you get a big run off the corner or something and try to dive bomb under them, you get loose a lot. Again, the air is all over the place in these cars.
Oh yeah, man. But again, you had a great run. Next week we're going to Kansas. You know, a little bit different in style, but talk us through that. What do you think? You looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm looking a lot more forward to Kansas. I'm way better at mile and a half in these cars than I am like Dover, this tracks like that. The shorter tracks I'm not very good at in these cars. I'm looking forward to Kansas. It should be a good race for me there.
Oh yeah, well we're looking forward to it also. Is there any shout outs you want to give tonight before we let you go?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to NR3 Designs. He makes a lot of paint schemes for me. Neil Rutt. And then a shout out to all my teammates. Everett got a P2. Brandon ended up with a P6, I think. And then I give a shout out to my mom, dad, my 2 sisters, and then my girlfriend.
Well, awesome, dude. And again, great run, a great clean run. We're looking forward to getting back out here next week.
Appreciate y'all.
That's going to be Ty Robertson finishing up in third place tonight. Coming up next, I do have your second place finisher and Mr. Everett Larson for the second time in the past 2 weeks, I guess, maybe 3 weeks, coming up here to the booth for a podium finish. Everett, you got a copy of this in the booth?
Yep.
Hey, Everett, you got Hunter up here in the booth, man. Congratulations on your run here tonight. Congratulations on the second place. Really, really tough race out there tonight here at Nashville. Talk us through what you were seeing out there on the track as the race progressed. Talk about how the dirty air was affecting the car. Just talk to us about how you were feeling as the night went on.
Yeah, man, I was just super excited to be able to come here at Nashville because I already had the track and I had some experience with it, not with these cars, but with other cars. The main thing I had to get used to, though, was definitely like the aero stuff because you could get right behind somebody, get them loose, and then just go around their outside. Or you could just try to pass them like a normal person. So most of the time I went with option A, which was getting them loose, which turned out to be very rewarding in the short run at least. But there in the last maybe, I think it was like 25, 26 laps, it was just super hard to get by everybody there as fast as I could to keep up with Jamie. But I got held up there, I think, with the 74, and I just couldn't catch him. But it was just super duper fun. Just able to set it in the tone over here for the past couple weeks. It's just been awesome.
Hey, man, you've been doing an excellent job of setting the tone out there. You've been doing such a good job out here in the Knapp Daddy Racing League, and another second place finish for you here. And again, just got to say, like, love your positivity, man. It's been so much fun to see you do so well out here on the track. We're headed to Kansas next week. How do you like your chances out there?
Kansas? Ooh. Well, honestly, I like Kansas a lot. And also, with these cars, I'm noticing instead of being able to stay in like fifth gear, well, with the other ones, you would be able to stay in fourth. But instead of being able to stay in your highest gear, you have to shift. So that's what's been mainly like just kind of messing me up half the time. I'm hoping at Kansas we don't have to shift, not gonna lie, but I really love Kansas because it's always like both lanes are always active, and it's just super duper fun to race there.
Well, yeah, man, we're looking forward to seeing you run at Kansas next week. You've been having a great season so far. I hope you keep it up next week. But before we let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, I want to thank my friend Brady for hanging around for as long as he could until I think, rage quit. But and I want to thank my sponsors: Food City, Quality Heat and Air, King Sport Fitness, Han Doctor, Corey LaJoy, Zamp Racing, my grandma and grandpa Larson, and you guys for putting on the stream, and then my mom and dad, and then friends for watching the stream too.
Yeah, man, you got a lot of people cheering you on out here, which is awesome to see. But congratulations again on the second place finish here tonight. Looking forward to seeing you next week at Kansas.
Thanks, you too.
Yep, take care, man.
Thanks.
That's going to be Everett Larson. I'm smiling actually, finishing in second place tonight. Looking at our little talkback text here, we're going to have to start using Super Duper in our broadcast, and I think we definitely will. That was a actually super duper great run out of him, and a super duper fun run to watch for us. But coming up next, I have your first place finisher, or just your winner tonight, in Mr. Jamie Horn. So I pull him up here to the booth. Jamie, you got a copy of this in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, congratulations on P1 tonight. I want to talk to you a little bit about that strategy call there. Baker, the third commentator here, actually noticed it for us tonight. You and Brandon Trush bringing it in and kind of staying out, or bringing it in a little earlier than everybody else. Talk to us about the strategy, kind of holding out just a little bit longer.
Yeah, the racing was getting a little bit too dicey for me up there, and I was thinking we might get another caution. So I told Brandon, if we go ahead and pit now, we'll just go real easy on our tires for the last couple of laps, and then we'll cycle up to the front when everybody pits and get us the clean air and kind of reset it something different for us. And it ended up working out. We got that caution, and I can't remember what happened. I think he fell back a couple of positions, but it's kind of what got us to the front. And at that point, it was just about managing and maintaining that lead as much as I could. Did not want to see the caution come out there after the last green flag stop.
Yeah, we figured there was going to be a big shakeup after that caution there at the end. And I was actually, my next question, if you were worried about the caution coming out, if you found yourself driving out your rear view a little bit more, and the thoughts around that caution coming out.
So the last caution, I was watching my relative trying to make sure. I didn't want to push the car too hard because I knew we still had a 40-45 laps to go or something like that, and I was going to be close on fuel too. So I was trying to save on fuel in case we had a green white checkered at the end. Um, and then just maintain the gap. I was telling Everett, I was kind of watching. I'd let him gain a little bit, and I had a point to where it was going to be all right. I've saved enough. It's time to start mashing the gas, but unfortunately, we had a caution come out there at the end, and didn't get to see how that was going to play out. He's really fast, so I wasn't sure if I'd be able to hold him off, if he'd be able to run me down with a few extra laps, older tires or not. But uh, we ended up pulling it off. Got that late race caution, and it all worked out.
Yeah, so with that last stop as well, you took 4 tires. Was there ever any thought of taking 2 tires there, or was the lefts just wearing out so much here tonight?
The whole way from the time the caution come out to I got to my pit stall, I was going back and forth. I could not make my mind up. I thought 2 would work, but uh, if everybody else took 4, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to hold them off. And I knew, 25 lap run, it was going to be all out. Nobody was going to be saving. So I felt like it was going to be best to have 4 fresh tires to be able to run as hard as the pace was going to be. And I still don't know. I might could have made it work with 2, but I'm glad I ended up taking 4.
Absolutely. Looks like the call worked out for you all right tonight. But before I let you go, I want to see if there's any sponsor shout outs you want to give.
I'll give a shout out to you guys for putting on the broadcast and the league. Shout out to you for the car. I pulled out one of the cars from last season. I hadn't run it in a while, so I wanted to get it back on the track. It looked so good. So want to get it out there. Shout out to my teammates, Brandon. And I'm not sure if Hunter's still on the team or not. I never know what Hunter's doing. So maybe
Hey.
Hunter and the other Hunter. The other
Hunter.
You can come be a teammate if you want
No,
to.
he's
I
never
think
been on the team.
To do. I definitely want to give a shout out to Everett. I think before the season's over, he's going to be somebody to definitely look out for. I don't think he's got a whole lot of time in these cars, and he's doing really well. So good finish to him, and good racing him and Ty. Good job to Ty on his finish, and everybody in the league. It was a fun race. Just a tough track, so I think we had some good racing. And yeah, shout out to my mom at home watching.
Yeah, don't forget Mama Horn at home watching. We appreciate her watching week in and week out. But congrats again on P1 tonight. Definitely going to move you up in the points, and looking forward to speaking to you next week.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You too.
Yes.
That is going to be Jamie Horn bringing it home in P1 tonight for his second win. So we have our first 2-time winner for the season 2 of this Knapp Daddy Racing League. And it was a incredible run just out of everybody. Before we get out of here, any final thoughts, Baker?
Man, just Everett's fast. I mean, that's what and a super duper fun guy to watch race too. So, no, I mean, obviously this is my first race back this season, and I mean, yeah, Everett really impressed me. And like Jamie was saying, I mean, he's going to be someone to watch for the rest of the season. So, I mean, who knows? He's going to win one of these races pretty soon. But he really impressed me tonight.
Absolutely, man. Hunter, give me your thoughts before we get out of here.
Yeah, man, just super fun race to watch. A lot of kind of going back and forth. I know we had a couple extra cautions here before the race was over, which hasn't been typical, but it was all realistically a lot of just kind of single car spins. It was unfortunate to see Mitchell Wilson not get a podium finish because, I mean, he just absolutely crushed it here tonight. I mean, perfect strategy, got out front, stayed out front. Definitely looking to see him get a win here before the season is over. But Jamie Horn just so fast, played his strategy exactly the way you wanted it to, able to get the win. Congratulations also to Everett and Ty for their top 3 finishes. But I mean, just once again, these guys putting on an absolute show here tonight at Nashville. I'm looking forward to Kansas. It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I think so too. And thank you to everybody who is in the comments and in the stream just watching. hanging out with us on your Thursday or Monday night. I'm sorry, I'm all mixed up here. The snow has got me sideways, but thank you again for hanging out with us on your Monday night, and hopefully you come back and join us next week. We will be at Kansas. It's going to be a fun time, another great track. I mean, the schedule is just full of great tracks, but Kansas is definitely going to be a fun one, multi-groove track, a lot of places to run. So with the driving as competitive as it is, I have a feeling it's going to be just as good. But other than that, that is going to be just about it for us here tonight. I hope you join us back next week at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time here on Knapp Daddy Racing's YouTube channel. And other than that, for the last time tonight, I've been John.
And I've been Hunter.
And Baker is Baker.
Yeah.
I figured we'd do that the first night you come back, but thank you again for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody.